Good afternoon. This is Christopher Tipper, CEO of Hunter Benefits, co-host of On the Couch, and co-host of today's video, our Tuesday topic. This is Christina Cannon, and you also know her from the Washington Update from On the Couch. Now, the Tuesday topic is our attempt at being serious about serious subjects, but we usually end up being more amusing than On the Couch, right?
It is
something
the government.
like that. Yes, it is the government. Our monthly Tuesday topic is where we discuss in Q&A format a white paper that Christina has written for us. They can get very heavy and weighty at times. Today we are talking about VFCP, the Voluntary Fiduciary Corrections Program. I did read the paper beforehand, but anyways, so I've got 9 or 10 questions for her. Are you ready, Christina? Ready or not?
I did look at the questions. There was only one I didn't know the answer to.
Oh, okay. This should be good. All right. So first off, who is EBSA and why did they develop a voluntary fiduciary correction program?
It is the Employee Benefits Security Administration branch of the Department of Labor.
Okay.
The Department of Labor's whole focus in qualified plans is to keep them going and not to shut them down.
Right.
However, if you run afoul of ERISA or government regulations, they could come in and close your plan.
I'm just thinking that the VFCP is a response and acknowledgement of basic human nature. We're going to do stuff wrong.
Yeah. Well, the rules are so complicated, it's almost impossible not to do something
But again,
wrong.
because it's voluntary, this is a plan sponsor turning themselves in, so to speak.
It's a mea culpa.
Yeah. Now then, who is eligible to file under VFCP?
Anyone who is not under investigation by the DOL, EBSA, or the Department of Labor, or if you happen to be a DB plan, PBGC.
Okay. Now, some random participant can't file, right? It has to be somebody who can fix it.
Exactly. And normally it is the plan sponsor, the plan administrator, maybe a TPA, maybe a service provider, but it has to be somebody who can go in and say, oh, this was wrong, here's how I'm
But when we're doing it as a TPA for the plan sponsor, we're doing it for the plan sponsor. We're not surprising the plan sponsor with it, okay?
Right.
Now then, are all transactions eligible for VFCP?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Are we going to leave it at that? Shall we have him read the white paper? Okay.
No,
but
there are.
It seems like most of them are, right?
Oh, you'd be amazed what people can come up with. But there are 17 different transactions that are covered under VFCP.
And it seems like 23 of them have to do with participant loans. That wasn't to speak of.
Or loans.
Yeah, right. Loans.
Not just to participants, but to your son, your uncle, your neighbor.
Persons of interest.
Yes.
Okay. So now then, what's the most common type of transaction subject to VFCP? And I don't mean what is listed most frequently in the 17, but what type of transaction actually probably occurs the most?
I'm going to say what occurs the most is the delinquent contributions, deferrals, and loan payments.
And delinquent is a fancy word for late.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Not within the time frame.
Now then, so we've gone through this. Somebody's figured out what's wrong. Somebody's figured out what needs to be done to make it right. Who makes the plan whole? The participants?
No, never.
I knew that. Yeah.
It's always, you always want to put the participants back or better than they were if the transaction had never occurred. So the person who caused the transaction is the one who has to make it good.
Oh.
And
so, I always thought it was, that's interesting. I was always thinking it was always the plan sponsor because the plan sponsor hires everybody. The plan sponsor is the one who has to make it whole.
True. But there can be transactions where it ends up being somebody other than the plan sponsor who makes it whole.
All right, so now I see that failing to value assets before making a distribution is not one of the transactions that come under the VFCP class exemption. Why?
See, now that was the one I didn't know the answer
Okay.
to.
Oh. Okay.
However, the true reason is it's Washington. Why?
Why? Okay,
We
so we're
never
not going to worry
know.
about why. We're going to just do
But,
it. The how.
Yeah, it's these are the kind of transactions where there are plans out there where they will pay it based on the previous valuation, and then they true up with the next valuation and pay the additional amounts,
Right.
or they eat whatever
Right.
was
Okay.
overpayment. But you can't always. There are some plans that pay it out as the last valuation and never.
Get things trued up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now then, what happens if the transaction is not corrected?
Depends.
It depends. Yeah. That actually is the right answer. All right. Because if the plan sponsor won't fix it and the plan isn't audited or reviewed by a federal body, it continues to go unfixed, right?
Well, it's a fiduciary breach.
It's a breach, right.
And, fiduciaries are entrusted with being loyal to their participants and being prudent, and to not correct a problem is
a violation of your
is to
fiduciary
violate
responsibilities.
that.
Yep.
Yes.
Now then, does the VFCP guarantee that the EBSA will not delve into the transactions?
No.
No, okay.
Because when you send in your application for forgiveness, they will review it. And at that point, they will determine if you are eligible to file at all. So it means that you've given them all of this documentation. And if they feel that you were egregious or you were flaunting the regulations,
Oh.
they can decide to proceed as though they had found the problem.
So it is the VFCP is a voluntary program that can get yourself in trouble
If you don't do it right.
if you don't do it right. Right. Okay.
Right.
So let's presume positive.
Okay.
All right. If the applicant, which is the plan sponsor, meets all the requirements of the VFCP, does it guarantee that the IRS will not investigate the plan?
No.
But they're not going to snitch to
Right.
the IRS.
The EBSA will not tell the IRS, hey, go look at this
Right.
plan.
It is not that kind of information sharing.
However, if you say you've corrected it, and they come back to you and they say you need to do these additional steps, and if you never take those steps,
Right.
they will follow up, and then they will turn you in.
But okay, fair enough. Your answer just thought of another question. All right, sorry. So let's say you're successful in the VFC program, which is part of the Department of Labor.
Right.
Right. But then the IRS comes and looks to see what happened during a year. Is the IRS obligated to accept the DOL's correction?
I wouldn't use the word obligated. I do know that the two branches of government work together. Nobody has the objective of driving a
Right.
plan into the ground. So they'll look at it and they'll say,
Close
they're
enough.
doing their
Okay.
thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think in summary, I have been trying to figure out how to sum this up, but the VFCP program is for late deposits, party and interest transactions, and participant loans primarily, right? And
Oh, you'd be amazed.
well, but reading through the list of 17, they all seem to be a variation of a late deposit, something wrong with a party of interest transaction, or a participant loan.
Right.
Yeah, okay. It's an involved, complicated, but documented process, right?
A lot of documentation.
Right. But if you follow the rules, you're very likely to have a reasonable outcome.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that that's normal. But you do have to, as you are accumulating all of your information as to how much needs to be paid to the plan to correct it, you have to look at, well, like on delinquent contributions.
Right.
It might be faster and easier for you just to fill out the 5330 and pay the IRS, and the DOL will accept that.
All right, very good. So there are, the Department of Labor has the EBSA. They have realized that everybody sponsoring an INA plan is human, and while it's, I don't know if I want to say convoluted or complex, they have given us a way to help the plan sponsors fix things, right?
Right.
Okay. So thank you very much. This has been Christopher Tipper and Christina Cannonen, our Tuesday topic. Looking forward to bringing next month's Tuesday topic is about compensation.
Ooh.
While that might seem like it's an easy topic, it's going to be a lot more than 10 pages. It actually ends up being very complicated. So did we do good, Filippo?
I think so.
All right, well, thank you very much. So obviously the website's hunterbenefits.com. If you've got any specific questions, it's sales@hunterbenefits.com. We're here to help. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, do all that other stuff.
Yes.
Take care.